Did you watch it in fullback? Oh, did you watch it in fullback this morning?
Yeah, I watched it in full, but I've also just been like on Twitter and looking at everything and speaking to other people to get a couple of angles on it. But yeah, no,
Get the
they're
lowdown.
just mainly the same lowdown of shit show, basically.
Okay, right, Izzy. So, no campaign is won or lost in the first game, but from what I've read, we are the only defending champions ever to lose in their opening game of a European campaign. What are your opening thoughts for me on yesterday's match?
I mean, I think it was just disappointing. I mean, last time we spoke, I was being a bit negative and thinking it's not going to go fabulously. But after that Jamaica game, started to get a bit of Euro fever. I think everyone was getting a bit more excited, feeling a bit more positive, and it just didn't go well in the slightest. I think the minute that VAR decision, which we'll probably talk about in more detail, but and Lauren James missing a couple of chances, the momentum just switched. And France, it was such a big statement from them in
Mhm.
this group that they mean business, and they just ran circles around England, I thought.
Indeed. So you mentioned Jamaica. I think from the France-Jamaica game, it was quite obvious. I mean, France are known for being a physical team, but especially watching that, it very much set the tone that they were going to, bring the physicality to the Lionesses, especially in those one-on-one battles. And we seemed to lose most of them. I think Leah Williamson said it was emotional defending.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
I think so. We just seemed to be on the wrong side of pretty much every single 50-50. We just couldn't get the pace on them. When they'd be attacking, defenders were just a couple of steps behind, so couldn't then get ahead and in the right position to then stop their attacks. They were just on the front foot for most of the game, and England just couldn't hold on to the ball, couldn't play through the middle. Stanway and Kira Walsh like fell apart completely as a midfield duo. Yeah, we didn't have enough speed. There was just issues all over the pitch, and as Leah said, emotional and cheap, which I found interesting because Serena Wiegman didn't agree with that
I
afterwards.
saw that.
I, I wonder whether they've had a little chat about what the message should have been after the game, but it was really very poor defending. I thought it was Lucy Bronze's one of her poorest performances in an England shirt for a while, and it just played into France's hands how high she likes to play. And it was just very apparent that her and Sandy Baltimore play opposite each other in training all the time because Sandy Baltimore just worked her out
Mhm.
from the first minute.
Yeah, talking about Baltimore, I hate to say it, but standout performance.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she's amazing. And I think she's probably pretty underrated in the WSL. I know she scores quite a lot of goals, but she
Mm.
doesn't really get her
You
flowers.
called it from the pre-game though, that she was going to be
Yeah,
the player to watch.
no, she is brilliant, and she's just got so much pace, and she's completely ruthless. And that was when she scored her goal. Bronze fell over, practically passed it into her line, and she
Yeah.
was able to score. That was really unfortunate, but I just think she ran circles around them, as well as Katoto. There was just so much that France had to offer going forwards that England just couldn't stop, and it just yeah, it sort of fell apart.
Do you think we missed? Emma Hayes got asked about it on ITV post-match about whether obviously Millie Bright usually leads the way for us both in the air and physically at the back. Do you think having her presence there might have changed the tone slightly, or we were just outmatched?
I mean, I think we have to give credit to France. They were incredible, and it's not just going to be down to one player not being there. But and equally, they weren't doing a lot of aerial crosses, which Millie Bright is so good at defending.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure, but I think what Leah and Alex Greenwood bring to it is the fact that they can pass out from the back, and France
Yeah.
stopped them being able to do that. So that takes away one of their main strengths. And then you probably do need someone like Millie Bright who's super physical to kind of get a head on it, get a foot on it, and put a bit of aggression into the game because Alex Greenwood and Leah Williamson they're quite small, they're a bit speedier rather than the kind of aggressive defense that you probably needed against this France side.
Absolutely. So let's talk goals. LJ obviously had a chance in the opening minute, which went over the crossbar, I'm pretty sure. And then the VAR decision. I'm sure you've seen a lot on it. What are you thinking? Did France have a 12th man on the pitch, or is it just one of those
I
with
mean,
VAR?
I think it's the sort of age-old story of England and European English teams in European competitions
Mhm.
where it's a sort of there's a vibe that the UEFA referees don't like England to do well, but you've got to then take your England hat off slightly and go, well, we didn't outplay them at all, but a lot of decisions did go France's way. For example, you saw at the end, Leah Williamson had a massive stud mark in her back, and
Yeah.
that wasn't even pulled up as a foul. And I think that it was just not consistent refereeing. You can't give that VAR decision and disallow that goal and then ignore the foul on Alessia Russo in the build up to France's second goal, for example. It's got to be consistent across the pitch. Either allow both or disallow both. But I just think yeah, I think she could have been a little bit of a 12th man. I saw a lot of memes on Twitter about her sleeping in her like red, white, and blue sheets last night,
Yeah.
and sleeping well after a nice 2-0 win. But yeah, I think that offside was rough. But then again, I don't think she needed to flick that ball on um, across to Lauren Hemp, so that
Yes.
it didn't need a touch. So it was just a shame that that happened. And they both said it afterward. They all said afterwards, that's football, that's how it goes. But that's just, I guess in women's football, we're not so used to having VAR all the time. So these
Hmm.
decisions aren't coming up so frequently as they do in the men's game. But yeah, it was a real shame because the momentum just completely switched.
I think it's difficult when we definitely weren't the team on top for the majority of the game. Yet little decisions could have made, at least on the scoreline on the sheet, a huge difference. But when you actually reflect on our overall performance, it's not really worth consideration, I guess. My next question to you is, what do you think caused did you see a gear change in the final 10 minutes? And I personally did. And what do you think was the reasoning behind that? Certain players?
I mean, I think the subs that came on, Serena Wiegman won the last Euros with her super subs, and she just waited way too long to put them on last night. And we said this last week that
Hmm.
the subs are going to be so important. Honestly, I think that Michelle Agumang's sort of 5-10 minutes on the pitch, she was one of the best players in an England shirt that the whole of the match because she just came on. She has absolutely no fear because it's her first tournament. She's not really played any senior football. She's just ready to make an impact and she's hungry to make an impact. And you could see that and had an almost chance when she was involved in that. And I just think that potentially bringing these young players on, Grace Clinton as well, would have been a good switch up in the midfield to a bit of a change from Kira Walsh. And obviously, Kira Walsh went on to score that goal, which is fantastic. But throughout the match, pretty silent. So I think it was the subs, or maybe a bit of desperation as well, just
Hmm.
realizing the kind of severity of the fact that 2-0 down against France in the opening game of the Euros is really not a good look
Hmm.
for the defending champions. But I mean, hopefully they'll take a look at themselves and make some changes before Wednesday.
No, absolutely. I personally think I always thought Ella Toon when she came on was fantastic, and any opportunity she's got around goals, she's going to take. And I mean, she didn't manage to convert any, but I think Tooney is the definition of a super sub, and it's a bit of a shame she didn't come on at maybe the 60th minute.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if this is a bit of a unpopular opinion, but I don't know why she didn't start over Lauren James. I know Lauren James had some great moments in the opening
Hmm.
minute, but she then tailed off. So it might have been better to have it the other way around with Toon work with that
Mm.
high work rate the whole way through, taking those chances. Who she's been in such great form. She scored a brace last week against Jamaica, for example. Lauren James hasn't started a match since in months for club or country, and I think that bringing her in against France, I know she's super talented and amazing, but how we saw her play at the beginning, she could have bought that for 10 minutes at the end and made a real difference there
Hmm.
instead of at the start. So I don't know if that's something to look at. I know that's a big competition for that 10 spot.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, Ella Toon did bring something more exciting to the game because it was looking pretty dire at points.
And finally, on Grace Clinton, Emma Hayes was very complimentary of her post game, and we spoke previously about the energy she brings. Do you think Serena could start her next game? Mix up. Do you think Serena will change the lineup for the next game? Because it's not really. If we're going off previous
Mm.
history, the answer will be no. But do you think she's going to be brave and mix it all up?
I'd love to see her be brave and mix it up. I mean, we've seen a lot more of that in the WSL this year with Chelsea and Arsenal. They've learnt from games where it hasn't gone right, and they've made complete changes, and they've got the squad depth to do that, and so have England. There's some great partnerships all over the pitch of people that play at club. So bring them on and let them work together in an England shirt. Put Aggie Beaver-Jones in there as well. Keep. I mean, Russo was amazing. She was working so hard. The whole game was really unfortunate to not actually get a goal, but she just consistently, tirelessly works the whole 90 minutes always. But maybe you need to switch that up, and you need to bring Aggie Beaver-Jones, Grace Clinton, Michelle Jumang, bring these young players who have nothing to lose. They've got no reputation to tarnish or kind of past not trauma, but past memories from tournaments where they're worried about it going wrong or they've had bad experiences. Just yeah, bring them on, switch it up. I hope that Serena knows the Netherlands well enough to make an informed choice about her lineup. And
Hmm.
yeah, but that midfield needs sorting out because the Netherlands, I don't know if you watched Netherlands versus Wales, but the Netherlands midfield were extremely strong and they will run circles around us if we play like we did last night.
Yeah, it's scary to think about. What I would say is though, whilst the what's it called, the score like board for our group doesn't look great, the mentality I saw of a lot of the players in their post match interviews last night, they understood, it, it had been a big loss, but I didn't say they all looked shaken. Like I still have quite a lot of trust and confidence in the Lionesses, just judging by their mentality alone. And obviously, you mentioned previously how Leah and Serena might have slightly conflicting messages. I wonder if that was maybe from a coach perspective. Serena's not going to say that about her players, and maybe Leah can if she's talking about herself and others on the pitch. Or maybe it's just they wanted to put out two different messages. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think Leah, she always speaks very emotionally post-match.
Hmm.
She's known for wearing her heart on her sleeve. She always does so at Arsenal as well. And she'll say it how it is, especially if she's part of that defense that she's talking about. So I don't think she'd say it about another unit on the pitch if she hadn't been involved, but she knows how they were feeling and how they were doing. So I imagine she felt okay to say that. And it is so fresh. It's straight after they come off, basically. So, they're gonna be speaking from the heart, and she absolutely loves England and wants to do well. Yeah, I imagine Serena Wiegmann is just using her media training a bit more. She's very good at not giving stuff away, and she won't talk badly about her players because she's very loyal to them all. So I think, yeah, I imagine it was just a bit of a mix up in what message they were sort of allowed to say rather than what they thought.
No, definitely.
Um, yeah, I think you're right. They do look like they want to try again and go again. There's definitely some hope still there, and it can be done. It's not, as you said, it's not won and lost on that game.
Hmm.
And Spain lost a group stage game in the World Cup and they went on to win the whole thing. So it really doesn't matter. It's just about getting the scores right in the next two games.
Absolutely. Absolutely well said. Well, I guess we will have to wait and see for Wednesday is the Netherlands. It would be nice if we had Wales in between as a slight
Yeah.
to, I don't know. I don't no disrespect to Wales, but the Netherlands are looking properly scary at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see. And finally, I don't think anyone called it. First Linus goal of the Euros was Kira Walsh. I
No
mean,
one called it.
wouldn't
I
have put
mean,
that on a bingo card.
it's her first goal in the tournament and only her second goal ever in an England shirt.
Yes.
It's good for her. I mean, I think, yeah, it was too little too late, but it's good for goal difference, which might come in to play if the group goes crazy as it might. That goal difference might be important. So getting one back on them, that's great. And yeah, an amazing shot. She seems to like those big shots from outside the box. It was quite Toon or Stanway-esque.
No,
So hopefully we see
absolutely.
more of
It
that from
gave
her.
me flashbacks of a set piece from years ago as well. I think it was the out in Canada with when Lucy Bronze took one from literally the same place. That's what it gave
Yeah,
me deja vu of when because they were next to each other. So that's what it reminded me of.
no, it was
Anyway,
definitely good. Definitely a good one, but we'd like to see more England goals. Didn't you guys say 2-1, but the other way around?
I actually did say 2-1 or what I can't or 1-0. I can't remember who I was referring to now. Anyway, we were all wrong predictions wise.
Yeah, I
But
said
didn't you
3-0
say
England.
2-1 or
I think I said 1-0 loss or 3-0 win, and then I went 3-0 win to be patriotic.
yeah, look how
Yeah.
that serves you.
No, not great.
I know we did some early predictions previously for the Netherlands game, but maybe one more now that we've seen. So that
Readjust.
now we can readjust. So what was the score between them and Wales?
It was 3-0. I watched that. It was Wales did really well. They kept a clean sheet until the 45th minute, and then
Okay.
Miedema scored her 100th goal for the Netherlands in the kind of injury time before half time, and it was a very good goal. Of course, like
I've
she
seen that
can't seem
one.
to score a normal goal. So now I'm scared because she's definitely on form and she'll want to score. So, but yeah, there seems to be a trend whenever she scores against Beth Mead then scores against her. So maybe it'll be Mido's redemption England shirt moment. We'll see. But I'm
We'll
gonna
see.
go. I don't remember what I said last time.
I think 2-1 was what I said, or 2-0.
They'll definitely score. I think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2-1. Such a boring prediction.
Okay,
I never.
I'm going to go 3-2 to the Lionesses.
Oh, like that. High scoring, really fun to
Hmm.
watch. Good for the fans who had a bad evening last night, maybe.
Hmm.
Uh, okay, maybe I'm gonna go 3-1 to the Lionesses. One goal from Miedema, and then a goal from an impact sub for England.
And by your trend and count, Mido.
Yeah, and Mido,
Okay,
definitely.
brilliant. Thank you very much, Izzy. Let me stop the
Thank you.